Hey everybody, AZ Gamerman here, and I am in the tower. We're going to find out what Xur has today. So today is October 23rd, 2015. So come to the back of the bar, and let's go see what Xur's got. So first off, he has the Imperium Bellicose. Essentially, just in a nutshell, this will allow you to jump up in the air and aim, and while you are aiming, it will let you float up in the air for 3 to 5 seconds. I don't know exactly what the time frame is, but it's long enough to get quite a few good shots off. I've seen some snipers really put this thing to use. The scores aren't great. They're middle to middle low end of the road, but they are dual stat, and I think that that's good. If you're a collector, buy it. If you're not going to, it's for a very particular type of player. If you like having a little bit more leverage, you like getting into places where you're probably not supposed to be shooting from, this is good. If you're not that type of player and you're more hands-on, up close and personal, this is probably completely wasted on you. So something to think about, depending on the type of player you are. Let's go inside. We'll take a little bit more look. First off, it will give you intellect, discipline, as we said, dual stat, inverse shadow, and heavy lifting, and better battery. Shields start recovery immediately on orb pickup. If you've been in the raid, it's kind of nice. You'd rather have health, but sometimes you just need a shield to buy you that extra second or two to start regening your health. So, moving on, we have the Mask of the Third Man. This is a little bit different than year one, and I'll explain why here in a second. So, intellect strength, middle end scores, not bad. They're not middle low, but they're definitely middle. They're strong enough that I would consider buying it. Plus, this is the first time that I've seen him sell it in year two, so also something to think about. The reason this is important is it causes Arcblade to use less super energy, which means you get to use it longer. So when you are in Blade Dancer, you are a holy terror for just a few more seconds than normal. This could mean the difference between clearing a mob and having a boss kick your ass. So definitely something to think about. It was probably one of the premier helmets in year one. Very interesting to see how the meta changes in year two. Moving on, let's go inside. Let's take a look. As I said before, it is dual stat. You got intellect strength, which is always good. I don't like single stat stuff. I've said it before. Inverse shadow, heavy lifting, and finally infusion replenishes health each time you pick up an orb of light. The knight at the end of Oryx, I believe there's arc shields, and if you are getting teleported in at phase 2 for the end of the Oryx fight, this would be a really great option for you hunters to pick up, just logistically speaking. So I would definitively pick this up at all costs, and then figure out how you can incorporate this into your raid scenarios. Other than that, if you just like Blade Dancer, it's a must-buy. Moving on, Skull of Dire Ahankara. What can I say? I enjoyed it year one. I don't enjoy single stat stuff. Yes, I know that we can use glass needles, but some people don't like to have to use those. I used a couple. I've decided I'm only going to use them in extreme scenarios. This would probably be one of them. I haven't had this one drop. Many other people that I know haven't had this drop. They would probably use a couple glass needles to get the stats and the rolls that they want. Moving on, we'll go inside. Well, first off, let's go over what it does. Take reduced damage while using Nova Bomb, improve siphon abilities. Essentially, I enjoyed it, but it is not something that everybody enjoys. Increased discipline, increased strength. You do have the ability to get some strength out of this, not much. Hands-on, second thoughts, invigoration. Gain bonus melee energy on orb pickup. Definitely not something that's going to help you a lot in the raid. And siphon abilities, they're good. They can stop you from dying, but generally they're not going to give you all of your health back. All in all, scores suck. Stats not great. If you're doing your Nova Bombs correctly, you're probably going to be aiming from a point where you're not going to get hit anyway. I think you could probably get better use out of another legendary and then use another exotic in another slot. So if you don't have a lot of points, I wouldn't waste them on this one this week. So moving on. Exotic engram for the body. Alright, so we have a chest engram. This is year 2. And if we move over to the far right hand side, as I said last week, don't be fooled. They moved the legacies to the far right. So don't buy these thinking you're going to get a heavy out of it. Alright? We're going to go on down. We have the glass needles. We told you last week. That's going to allow you to use a couple other things. I'll go inside here and I'll show you. Essentially, you just come down here. You use the twist of fate. And when you do, you're going to use some armor materials, glass needles, and a little bit of glimmer. And that's going to allow you to re-roll your stats. So instead of strength, you might be able to get intellect discipline or intellect strength or strength discipline. And your final perk, gain bonus melee energy on orb pickup, may be something like gain health on orb pickup. Something to think about. Your 3 of coins, once again, your heavy ammo scent is only 3. I don't know why they have lowered it, and they're not budging. So keep bitching. Let's get those 5 back for our coins. You have the Void Drive and the Emerald Coil Drive. All in all, not a bad week. Definitely opened up a couple options that a lot of people didn't have, but not an overwhelming week. So hopefully he comes back with something a little bit better next week. This has been AZ Gamerman. I'm on the way out of here. I just wanted to let you know my thoughts on what Xur had this week. Take it easy.